Hey guys, this is TigerBoy16. I wanted to tell you something that happened today. It was really amazing. I got blessed so much by God today. It's so crazy. And I'm going to go down through the list, and there's a list. Alright, first, I went to work, and my shift today was supposed to be 4 hours. My first blessing was that somebody didn't show up, so they asked me to finish out that guy's shift so that instead of having 4 hours, I had a full shift, which I need the hours. So that's blessing number one. The second one was I had a supervisor, and I'm not going to say who. I had a supervisor be rude to me when I asked them a question. Quite rude. And I actually had a coworker stick up for me. And if you're watching this, you know who you are. And thank you. That was unexpected. I didn't ask them to do that, but I certainly appreciated it. Also, okay, that was two. Here's a third one. Because I was only going to be working 4 hours originally, I didn't make a lunch for work. So I was going to be without lunch. And I had called my mom to let her know that I was going to be home later than usual because I had got more hours. And I didn't mention lunch to her or anything. She asked if I had lunch, and I said, no, I don't have anything. And so she told me she would bring me some. And she did bring me my lunch right on time, actually, which was great. That was definitely a blessing. I was actually probably just going to have to buy something. And then, okay, so that's the third blessing. The fourth one is one of the vendors at my store. He and I are friendly towards each other. And so basically what happened was I was walking outside, and I saw him coming back, I think from lunch or whatever, and he had a bag of something. I said, hey, what'd you bring me, jokingly? And he's like, oh man, I don't have anything for you, but I'll tell you what, I'll buy you Starbucks. And I kind of thought he was joking. So I kind of laughed at that. And he's like, well, what do you want? I was like, oh, you're serious? He's like, yeah. And so I told him, and he did indeed buy me Starbucks. And that was really awesome. Okay, so that's the fourth blessing. All right, the fifth blessing is okay. Fifth blessing is I've written everything down. I don't often get to talk to a customer like this, but I talked to a woman about. We actually got into a bit of a conversation about God and about different things that God has done for me and God has done for her, and I think it was her nephew that she talked about. And it's funny because her nephew's story had so many similarities to mine. And I don't mean similarities as in my testimony, but it's very funny how that was, and talk about how God uses us to do ministry wherever we are, and God certainly is doing that where I am working, and apparently He's doing that for that other guy too. So it was really great to talk about somebody, or talk to somebody about that, and we were both just like in awe. It was really awesome. So that was definitely a blessing. All right, so okay, so that was the fifth blessing. So we got to be pretty busy, and I was doing sweeps and carts, which means I have to go through the store. I have to sweep the floors, dust mop, clean the bathrooms, and I also have to go do clear the lot of carts. It was getting late into that hour, and we were really busy, and I started doing carts at like 43 after, which is really late. Normally it's 30 after. And seeing as it was busy, I was going to have a lot of carts. And I looked out there and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of carts out here. I mean, it looked like every corral was jam-packed. And it took me 10 minutes to do like the first lane. And there's like 6. I was like, I am going to be out here for a while, and I had to do sweeps and carts for the next hour, and you're supposed to be doing the sweeps right off the bat. And I probably wasn't going to be able to do that because of all the carts. But God provided. One of the corrals was completely empty, which didn't make sense at all. There should have been carts there, but there wasn't at all. And that sped things up a lot. And it, God helps me all the time when it comes to carts. He helps me get them in. I'll go past a corral, have a bunch of carts, and I'll take my load and come back, and there'll be half the carts there were. And it's not because somebody took them, it's because of God. God regularly helps me get the carts in, and I trusted Him that He would get me through it today, because that's what He does. So my initial sweep of the parking lot, where I cleared from one end to the other, ended at 2 minutes after the hour. That's barely 20 minutes. That's insanely fast, especially for us being busy. And the back sweep, where I go back across the other one, or across the other way to clear out any other ones that may have accumulated while I was clearing initially, that ended at 5 minutes after the hour. So that was all God. Also, okay, so that was the 6th blessing. Now, I was talking to a coworker when I was on lunch, and she works in the bakery, and I consider this to be a potential 7th blessing. We'll find out, but I'm going to claim it. They're having some trouble keeping up in the bakery right now because of the high traffic, and with the holidays coming up, it's going to be so much worse. So she was telling me how she had asked our manager to hire more people or something because they need them. And I said, well, hey, I'm looking to move into a department because I need more hours. Well, that's part of the reason. The other part is I want to move up. And she said, well, go talk to them, and maybe we can get you in here. So that's what I'm going to do. And I don't know when I'll know for sure, but I'm going to ask. And I'm telling you this right now, because if it does happen, it's all God. So 6 blessings today, potentially a 7th beginning. So anyway, I wanted to say that, and it really, all the glory goes to God, because it was just so awesome. My day went really well. There was a while that I was getting kind of annoyed with a certain supervisor, because I felt they were being a bit unreasonable about something. And I could feel that I was being attacked by enemy spirits. And so I started rebuking them, and I know I got a bunch of them off me, but there's something I wasn't getting the right. I couldn't figure out what it was to rebuke it. And I was praying, and I was praising God, which helps a lot. I could feel that it's a grip on my heart. I could almost actually literally feel it. Anyway, but yeah, I could feel it start to weaken, and I sent a couple of texts out when I could to a couple people to ask for prayer, and that helped a lot too. And And so that definitely greatly weakened that evil spirit. Because they were certainly attacking me, trying to ruin the day of blessings that I just received from God. I mean, that was so awesome. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you because that was so cool. Anyway, if you liked the video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, comment below. I would love to hear what you have to say. God bless you guys and be safe.